What is soil compaction? Soil compaction happens when soil particles are pressed together, reducing pore space between them. Heavily compacted soils contain fewer large pore particles and have a reduced rate of water and infiltration, and also drainage from the compacted layer. This happens because of large pores are the most effective in moving water through the soil when it is saturated. How to control soil compaction? There are 4 ways you're able to deal with soil compaction. Avoidance. Stay off the field until the field is ready to work. Elevation. There are 2 ways of which you can lessen elevation and damage caused by compaction. Removing compaction and attempt to reduce the adverse effects of the compaction. And acceptance. This is waiting for the detrimental effects to be removed by natural forces. Causes and consequences. As tractors and field machinery become bigger and heavier, this is causing concern about soil compaction. Heavy equipment and tillage implements can cause damage to soil structure. Compaction leads to poor root growth, which stresses the plant and reduces its response to nitrogen. By applying nutrients to damaged soils, wastes time and money, and can also damage the environment, as the plants, such as wheat, will not fully utilise it. The risk of fertiliser runoff increases up to 40%. Compaction also can cause soil sediment and herbicides and pesticides getting into watercourses.
The real effects of traffic compaction on wheat yields on a clay loam dependent on the April to June precipitation. Under dry conditions, the wheel tract area produce higher yields than non-tract area. As the precipitation increases, the non-compacted area results in higher yields than compacted areas. Machinery compaction generally occurs at half the tyre width below the soil surface. As seen in the graph, the growing economical growth, the size of a farm machinery is increasing in size. Bigger the better. Larger machinery makes up the cost of the farm labour. Bigger the tractor results in needing only one man doing the job in the least amount of time, which is saving the farmer money. As years have gone by, machinery has gone up in average of 5 tonnes from the 1950s to the 2000s. As seen in both figures, the greatest case of compaction is greater axle loads and wet soil condition. Compaction caused long axle loads greater than 10 tonnes per axle on wet soil, extending to depth over 2 feet or more. As seen in figure 8, as the axle load increases, the compaction depth of the soil increases. This means that the heavier the machinery, the larger the effects will have on the soil. As seen in figure 9, increasing the soil moisture content will affect the compaction depth of the wheels per axle on the soil. This is why it is advised to do any farm work on a dry day.
Earthworms are important. There are numerous beneficial effects on overall soil quality for crop production, from burrowing and feeding activity from earthworms. One of these is water infiltration. Earthworms create horizontal and vertical burrows. Vertical burrows are very important points for entry for quick water infiltration into the soil, especially in no-till systems. Another positive effect on soil aeration. Air-filled porosity is critical in helping plants' roots to thrive. Roots need oxygen for their growth, and they produce CO2 which needs to leave the soil, so earthworms improve soil porosity. They do this either by creating permanent burrows or by improving soil aggregation. Soil compaction reduces the porosity of the soil because earthworms increase porosity. They reduce the effects on compaction. In addition, the excrement of earthworms has a very stable structure, which makes the soil more resistant to compaction and improved tilth. Soil density. The most direct effect of soil compaction is an increase in the bulk density of the soil. Bulk density is the mass of an even dry soil in a standard volume of soil, often given as grams per cubic centimetre. Optimum bulk densities for soil depend on the soil structure. Wherever the bulk density exceeds a certain level, root growth is restricted. Desirable and undesirable effects. Desirable, slightly compacted soil speeds up the rate of seed germination because it promotes good contact between seed and soil. Undesirable, it has a short depth of root and also decreases the ability of intake of nutrients and water.